Following the game, it's your late local news, except out on the West Coast, then the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, and Late Night with David Letterman. Jeff Burroughs will come on to hit. He'll bat for Ernie Witt to start the bottom of the ninth. Lynn Jones is the new left fielder, replacing Lonnie Smith for defense. And the Quiz, just in case, is throwing in the bullpen. Burroughs, the former MVP when he was with the Texas Rangers. Later hit 40-plus homers for Bobby Cox in Atlanta. Started the year as the DH, replaced by the tandem of Cliff Johnson and Al Oliver.
The pause right here is, from what I can see through my binoculars, time is called. There was a person down on his back, and you can still see his feet flat out on his back. Apparently has fallen out of the stands. We will not give you more than that, so that we will not alarm anybody, because we do not have a report. Been a lot of unruly behavior, it appears. Quisenberry going over. Somebody apparently has fallen out of the stands, and all the Royals are out. The game is being held up. And we obviously hope there is not a serious injury down there. Security people are there. The medical people are rushing to his side. Some of the grounds crew are there. And that is further deadened the crowd here at Exhibition Stadium, Toronto. They're on the walkie-talkies up to the first aid department.
And meanwhile, Lee Brandt is going to throw a few pitches as they bring a stretcher out for the fallen fan. And what we are looking at eventually here, unless the Blue Jays stage a miracle rally, is a less than festive surrounding for a remarkable baseball achievement by the Royals. Obviously, hearts are soaring back in the Kansas City area and for miles and miles around, because the Royals are really a regional franchise, but not in this surrounding. The celebration will be entirely in the Royals clubhouse.
Bringing some medical supplies in. Apparently a doctor had come, and now it looks like another medical person down to help out, very quickly reacting to the situation down in the right field corner. This organization, the Blue Jays, really has been patterned after the Dodgers organization and the Kansas City Royals, something that Paul Beeston, one of the vice presidents, Pat Gillick has done, Peter Bavasi when he was here in the team's inception.
Well, they lost better than 100 games in each of their first 3 seasons, beginning in 1977, and in just their 9th season, they win 99. They became a solid ball club in the 1983 season, a force to be reckoned with, and this year they take it in the American League East, and they were favored in this series, and obviously they will be a solid ball club, a contender for years to come.
And while we have a chance, we want to thank a few people who have helped us out so much here. New vice president in charge of public relations, Dean Vogelaar of the Kansas City Royals, Howie Starkman and Gary Oswald of the PR department here. And also another note I'd like to make is, want to wish a quick recovery to the executive director of the Major League Players Association, Marvin Miller, who apparently had a heart attack a few days ago. Still in intensive care. They say he's getting better. And Marvin, we wish you the best, and your wife Terry, and someday you're going to have a plaque at Baseball's Hall of Fame. You deserve to be there, pal.
Obviously, the ambulance was at the ready just beyond the opening in the right field fence, and we will not hazard a guess as to the condition of the fallen fan.
George Brett has walked in this ball game, and he struck out twice and grounded out, but he has set a bunch of American League and League Championship Series records along the way, and I would think he is the front runner, if not to be the winner, of a new trophy that'll be presented, the MVP for the first time, the Lee McPhail Jr., former American League president, most valuable player trophy. And how aptly that award is named after Lee McPhail, who probably did more to prevent a long strike this year than anybody else. Marvelous, marvelous man.
1-2 to Burroughs, batting for Witt. in the bottom half of the ninth. As you say, Tony, this is the first year that the MVP award in the American League Championship Series will bear Lee MacPhail's name. They began designating a most valuable player back in 1980. Lee Brandt tosses to Balboni, and Burroughs is gone. More people to thank, including the executive producer of NBC Sports, Mike Weissman. Coordinating producer of baseball, Harry Coyle. Tonight's producer, John J. Filippelli, and director, John Gonzalez. Pre-game show was produced by Les Dennis, directed by Bucky Gunts. Replays coordinated by Ken Edmondson, technical director Lenny Stucker. And some fans run across the field carrying a Canadian flag, and that draws one of the biggest ovations of the night. It also draws a swarm of security people, and they descend like locusts.
We didn't get a chance because we had conflicting schedules at times, being out of the ballpark, to see all of the National League Championship Series, but Harry Coyle, our coordinating producer and director of baseball for so many years, George Finkel, the producer there, and Vin and Joe, you guys did an outstanding job. Congratulations.
As time allows, we'll be joining Dick Enberg in the winner's dressing room at the end of the game. Give you some of the flavor of the celebration. Just in case.
And there are a lot of people down in that bullpen protecting Dan Quisenberry also. All those people running out of the seats, keeping an eye on him.
Talking about the MVP award, they began designating an MVP back in 1980. Frank White of the Royals won it then in the 3-game sweep over the Yanks. Strike one to Barfield. Greg Nettles the next year for the Yankees. In '82, Fred Lynn for the Angels, the only time a member of the losing team has won it. 2 quick strikes. Mike Boddicker of the Orioles in 1983 with that shutout performance against the White Sox with the 14 strikeouts, and Kirk Gibson of the Tigers last year.
The Royals have been through a worse situation than this before. I remember the Philadelphia, Kansas City, when in the 9th inning, they ran all those mounted policemen out, got the wives out for the Royals in Philadelphia, and a complete circle of police officers and dogs to prevent fans from getting unruly.
Barfield draws a reaction with a 1-out base hit.
Something to excite this Blue Jay crowd. They haven't had much of that, as Lee Brandt had retired 8 consecutively.
It's their first base runner since a walk to Barfield in the 6th, and their first hit since an Upshaw double in the 5th.
The shortstop,
they need to put 3, 4 base hits together, a walk or so, maybe a boot, and have somebody pop one. Remote, but not impossible.
Ball 1 to Fernandez. Garcia is on deck. And this is hit down the right field line, and Sheridan won't get it. Fernandez wants a double, and that's what he has. 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
Who knows?
Here comes Hauser.
He had Lee Brandt standing around an awful long time, stiffening up, while everybody was running out in the field, and that accident in the right field corner. So Bobby Cox, if nothing else, let's force Quisenberry in this ball game, and who knows what might happen. Somebody might get one in the wind.
Early in the year, when Lee Brandt was twice being named the pitcher of the month in the American League, Willie Wilson said, "It's not Lee Brandt, it's Rembrandt." It hasn't exactly been a masterpiece tonight, but he's brought them to the verge of the pennant. That is the very valuable right hand of Brett Saberhagen, and you can see the swelling in the area around the thumb. He is seated with Dick Enberg and can still manage a smile, and why not? At age 21, he's about to get a chance to play in the World Series. But the Blue Jays have 2 outs left and 2 men on. Garcia's 1 for 4, and Quisenberry is ready. Strike one. So Quisenberry couldn't get it done in game 2 or game 4, but he was on the mound to close it out, striking out Garth Iorg in game 6, and appropriately he may be the closer here.
4 innings pitched thus far. He has allowed 7 base hits, 4 runs, but only 2 earned.
The Royals are about to break the stranglehold the American League East has had on the pennant. 4 in a row, 9 out of 10. The only interruption, the Royals win over the Yankees in 1980. 1-2.
It's a guy like Quisenberry. You might scratch a run here and there, but to put a big inning together is hard because he might give a lot of chopping singles and infield hits, but to lift his ball out of the ballpark, he's about as tough as anybody when he bores it in on the right-handed hitter and keeps it down like he does.
Mosby is on deck.
As he has said of himself, I don't slam the door like Gossett, Suter, fingers in his prime. I close it very gently. Trying to do that now.
Just as securely.
Not as much this year as in the past. He still led the league with 37 saves.
Quisenberry. The throw got him. A run scores. Fernandez moves to third. And the Blue Jays are down to their last out. Those two guys are close friends. Cox and Hauser, they coached together with the Yanks in the 70s. They were teammates briefly with the Yankees. Ralph Hout, their manager and mentor, in 1968.
They see it right around the corner, but there's still always that little bit of an uncertainty until that last out. Still an uneasiness as Hauser was still pacing like a tiger.
The Jays need 2 more base runners to bring the tying run to the plate. Strike one to Mosby.
In fact, that was one of the first times we've seen Dick Hauser very mobile at all. And there's Bobby Cox, who is hurting inside right now. This all started way back. They had a long way to come back after they went back to Kansas City down by 2. And then they had to win it right here at Exhibition Stadium, where Toronto had one of the best home records in all of baseball.
George Brett got our vote as the MVP of the series. There were other people to consider. We put Dave Steeves second despite the loss tonight. We don't know officially who's going to get that award. We'll have the information for you if we can. There is Brett.